channel, Hisame Artwork. We are going live. Let's see. So it is starting. Yep, it seems to be live. So welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. Today I'm going to color page my comic Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. This page will be published on Sunday. That is when I publish my comic page. So first thing I'm gonna do is make some little changes here. Eraser. There we go. And I have a Wacom Intus Pro tablet. Medium size suits me best. I started with Wacom and I stayed with Wacom because they're kind of in this for a super long time. They have technical support when drivers stop working. You can find replacement parts for them easily. Of course, they are expensive, and that is rather unfortunate, but you know, when you want things to be sure, willing to pay a little bit extra, then take your chance on I had the chance to work to try out some tablets from friends of mine. Oh, it's with the clouds. That. And they didn't seem as good. They were kind of like Wacom bamboo tablets quality. Okay, it doesn't wanna. Then I will duplicate from here. Okay, there we go. Couldn't see it. And erase that there. There we go. Let's see if I can two vector layers and still have them be vector. So this is background house ink left. That's background house ink right. It keeps let's see, now where's my rooster? I'm just gonna move him up here. And on the ink I'm just gonna erase the feet because he's gonna be sitting on the thing. And this I gotta erase because he's just gonna be looking up. He's not singing yet. You can kind of erase the extra stuff. Hi there, Egg McMuffin. How are you? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Hope the image is good. I had some issues with the sound before. Sweat. Updated OBS. Nah, don't worry. Movie. Okay, so I'm in the next panel. I'm gonna remove some of these extra lines. And I like I can the lines. It's fine? Okay, awesome. I'm glad it's working. Because I was talking with some friends about some events, art events we're doing, and I updated. Okay, so now. I was talking about something else before McMuffin came along. I'm trying to remember, but my brain is. Color Me collab, like we have 5 days until the event ends. Where's that blue line coming from? There we go. Found it. Erasing. I guess June kind of mixed up. It happens to the best of us. Like when you are working on a pretty big comic that has just a whole bunch of layers, it's complicated. And this is actually a medium-sized comic, so we don't have that many layers. I don't even want to know what is in a DC or Marvel comic. It'd be rather nightmarish. Okay. Stuff here that I saved as reference color palette. Now this is an animation made by Kurzgesagt. In a nutshell, it is a German YouTube channel where they do videos about science and stuff. These purple pastels, pinks, and I'm gonna use it in the background here. But first of all, I'm gonna do the mask for each of them, just to kind of maneuver everything. But something strange happened to my Clip Studio Paint. Come on. Yeah, it's not fitting in the window anymore. Okay, and mask, panel 3, mask. What else did I tell you guys aside from the lab? Trying to remember. Panel 4, mask. I gotta start writing stuff down. Memory's failing me already. So I published the Ernest the Blue Bunny comic on and Niels Feynman's gonna go up on itch as well. I don't know if I'm gonna go on Lulu and find out how I can publish an ebook. I have a idea how I'm gonna do it, like I've read and tested some of the stuff with uploading there. I just never went through with anything there. So it should be available on places like that. Mostly I like the fact that Lulu's gonna give free Hisame code, ISBN in English. And then your stuff is copyrighted, and if somebody else tries to steal it and somewhere else, then Lulu can say, hey, that's my stuff, hands off. And of course Lulu still lets you do whatever you want. They're happy to get a cut. Many sales, they don't require you to pay upfront for digital hosting and stuff like that, which is really nice. Because in the beginning, if you are a beginner writer and you have like nobody to promote you and have to do everything yourself, the sales are. So these are cloud color, clouds, line art. Okay, front, building, color, front, building, ink. The line art was done by my friend Jun Fender. Sorry about that. And a bit purplish. There we go. And I'm gonna wanna dark up and I'm gonna go pink and yellow. First of all, the rooster is kind of the wrong color. I'm gonna give him dark purple. But why isn't the opacity 100? There we go. That's kind of upstairs. Now I have a brush here, so I'm gonna start to blend things. And get these nice pinks and purples. Mine's a bit darker, but I wouldn't go too pale. It's kind of like really crack of dawn. Go lighter on the clouds. Some reference. Oh, cloud. Sunrise. Now this is indeed. So I can go with a bit of purple, but it needs to be lighter up here. So on the sky it needs to go a little bit. Then on the cloud I can go with that dark. Just so I can have that contrast. And it will stand out. And I have some bushes, tree tops. I don't know if I'll color them or leave them like a solid block. I would rather have attention on the sky. And then in the next panel I have the attention on the rooster. And the roof color, keep it. Purple, and I have to have a background. And it's gonna be around because it's kind of like the back of the road. And I'm gonna check out and see how a rooster looks like, because I don't know it by heart. Oh, so this with green, this is really interesting. So not mix that in, like the green feathers will really stick out with the rest of the color, or I can go something that fits in. And I think the better idea. So just because it's a really complex image, I am going to stick it in here to have it as reference. So you kind of have these white legs, which I will kind of expect it to be, but and like the mane, okay, it's orange, and then it goes a bit more reddish upstairs, reddish brown, but I don't want it to compete too much, so I'm gonna keep it kind of an orange. Gonna be a pinkish red for the crest. And how's the rooster wings look like? Rooster wings underneath. A lot more dull for sure. I never noticed how beautiful these birds can be, simply because my grandmother had like the more simple one color ones, nothing fancy like this. But this could make like a really nice parrot and more elegant color palette for it than out of the box saturated parakeet colors, which is pretty surprising. Hi Anna, how are you? I'm trying to color a rooster. And it's pretty complicated. I'm doing good. We'll find chapter 2 from the comic. So I'm really excited about that. Moving the story along. It's a lot of work. Like when you start, you don't kind of realize, I think, just how much work this is. A bit of white fluff here, and then some blue. very interesting coloration. Like, I've never had so much appreciation for a rooster until I actually Googled some of these images. I get to see what this amazing plumage it has. I usually consider a rooster to be thinner, so I don't really give it much attention. And also, the grandmother had, they weren't nowhere near as pretty as this one. Like, they were there for procreation and not much else. Ever drawn chapter 2 in the previous version? No. Like, it was all new content, I think, from page 18. There was 19. Definitely nothing new. Nothing. It was all new, I mean, from page 19. And I added some more stuff in the other pages, gave some more information. I was moving way too fast. But then it was moving too slow, and I kind of went back to the fast paced. Okay, let's see, page 20, 25. Go back, there we go. Yeah, Jun did a great job with it. Nope, I went too far. So I want this color, but let me just use the pen so I have it here. Because that was cold, and now I want to go more to the red side. Because I have kind of a warm light. Night, so I'm gonna go for a more yellowish color. The pillow as well is gonna be now cream. And the bedspread, more red. Walls. It actually didn't change. Okay, so I'm gonna go now Newton's character sheet. Hi Kay. Forever the drama queen. And I'm gonna go to Newton here and kind of color his blouse. And skin color. Kind of get in all of those little nooks and crannies there. hair. Actually, I gotta do the eyebrows slightly more darker, because usually people have eyebrows than the eyes. And actually, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna color inside. Yay! I can't tell you how happy I am. Moving to chapter 2. Like, I've never gotten this far with any comic book issues to do this. Hey, Dragon, how are you? I was gonna say Spino, then I brain doing too many things at the same time. Now it looks like his blouse. Too many creamy colors, doesn't look that great. But at least I got a nice sky in the other panel. Now, considering his age and the fact that it was Britain, I don't think he had mouth. But, you know, it's a story we can improvise. Plus, he was rich, like he could afford fake teeth. Although usually you don't sleep with your fake teeth in your mouth. I feel like I would need a window to transplant the window from here, or another page Lineart, just so I can get some nice effect with the shading, because there's like way too much space here, and it was a really house, like you barely had any room for anything. Houses, and also the people weren't that tall. So let's color skin here. The hand. And blouse. And the hair. Oh, what's calling me? Oh, it's fake. It scared me and wasn't expecting. Like, I thought I closed everything. Initially I thought it was Skype. I saw that I did close it and I was like, what's happening? This is pretty much the same face I make in the morning. Like, why is it morning again? We just had night. Why must it be morning again? Although the morning here in more beautiful, because I live in the countryside. I'm like a hillbilly, like a peasant, and every day I look out my window. So that was panel 4, there it is, and a new layer for the background. Wall color. Nope, I forgot to select. Yep, something like that. Oranges there. The lighting is gonna come in. Not sure yet how I'm gonna put it. I gotta think a bit. Where did my layer go? Wall color. Oops, I moved it. Damn. So are you on vacation with the summer, or you still have school? Like, I know school usually ends in 15th of June. Although students, if I'm correct, finish a bit sooner. Actually finished later. And now for, what is this? Okay, color. Sure. I don't know to not name the layers. Like, I must have all of my layers named, otherwise I get lost. I can't live a nameless layer life. The sky. And it's gonna be kind of orangish, yellowish. Purple? Something like that. Today the audio is good. I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that. Like, I finally managed to update with the help of my husband. Because it was pretty strange update. You have to download something and then put it in some of folders in where you install the program. Like, for example, I have it in my C partition, and I had to go and there, and that's just really weird update for me, because I usually don't do updates like that, like update or I press yes and it updates. But my husband knows a lot. He was able to like quickly it for me. So now I'm working on panel 5, color furniture. There we go. So this one I'm coloring now. Move there. Frame is this yellowish weird stuff. That's outside as well. Oops. This is actually the wall framing. How's life? Life is good so far. Like I'm working to finish. If I gotta do a trailer for the first issue, like the comic a bit. Not sure exactly how. Because it's a lot of work and not really certain I can do it well and do it quickly. Like I really liked how the Watchmen animated, and they look really well. Quite interesting to manage to find a how do you call it? Oops. A robot. Why the hell did it do this? Genius. Okay, fine, be that way. Whatever. I found the robot to do like the voice work for the narrator, because like every voice narrator and I found a robot that sounds really human. Like if you wouldn't know that a robot is talking to you, which is really nice because I can't afford to pay for a voice actor. I wish I had the budget for it. Like I wish I had the equipment and the personnel to be able to talk to someone and hire them for this, but unfortunately I don't have these options. But thank you for online robots, free online robots. Because some of the voices for the robot yes. I'm gonna name this furniture color, background color here separate, background color. Yeah, didn't I send you um, the link? And this is me, or did I send just June? I can't really remember. I think I've sent both of you. Let's see, I think I still have it opened here. There we go. But I think I have to sound. Oops. Okay, screen. Audio input. I think so. Desktop. Okay. Default. Okay. You don't hear me with echo? I hope not. Let's see if you can hear.
Come read the new adventures of Niels, a little mischievous boy from the 24th century who travels back in time to meet his hero, Isaac Newton. He's joined by his friends, Erwin the cat and Marie the corgi. They may get into trouble, but together they can
I think I will delete this one. But how do I delete you? Remove, yes. Like, I don't know, have you... It's like, this is the link. And if you want, you can put this text in. No, it's too long. Just put this one. Yeah, it's a really good voice. And since I have science fiction and robots and you that it's not the greatest voice that a human can have. Like it's not that big of a problem, I think, that it's a robot voice. Better than Vocaloid. Yeah. Sometimes they um auto tune and ends up sounding pretty horrible. pause. Name this Newton color. Like, definitely technology is making life much more easier for me. I don't know if I would have been able to do this comic 10 years. Like, I seriously wonder if what would the situation ago. Like, I wouldn't have afford to uh, do anything like this 10 years ago. I really do. First of all, I wouldn't have met, and so I wouldn't have been able to do a page. I wouldn't have been able to publish it online for you guys to see. Many people online looking for comics. Like, I feel that the change consume stories has really changed a lot. It's definitely overwhelming because you seas and mountains of indie content, and especially because they don't work all the time, or you can't find something. And you know, even for comics, because it doesn't pay, I often see these great, amazing looking comics from indie creators. They never get the story finished. Like, they kind of get to the middle of it and then they are not able to finish it because they have jobs, they have school, thing matters to attend to. So they like never get to finish projects. Oops, wrong layer. To go in Comic Cons to share a comic and attract new people. First of all, I wouldn't Comic Con out of the question for sure, because the closest place they kind of do Comic Cons of go, and that's 5 hours drive, and if you go there you have expensive. And like, I talked with Scuba about getting together a stand for each of our comics, and we can fit in a stand, both of us, and just say, oh, you know, indie something or company inc, whatever, and just buy a stand. Or I could just, I don't know, call it Hisame or something and let them stay at the costs of renting a stand, because it's not cheap. It's like dollars for 2 days or something like that. Might be more, I don't remember exactly. And they might give you like a really crappy stand somewhere behind a corner in bushes or something that nobody sees you, like some Italian, you know, when they were like all the indie ones were put in one like isolated area away from the flow of people, so you know, didn't even bother to sidetrack to go to the indies. Which I think is a really shit move, because people don't go to Comic Cons for the name brands. You know, they go for Marvel, DC, and so you should put those in the back, because people are surely gonna go there. buy the tickets to see me, for sure. They don't even know I exist. So you should put like the indies in the front door or next to, I don't know, food stand. So people what is in these stands or something. Because you know they get a lot of money from these people, so you know if they cheat it out of it and they don't make any money, next year they're not gonna come. And instead of expanding, you're losing. Because somebody finished business school doesn't mean that they actually understand business. And they think that, you know, if they squeeze every little last bit of money from people that much money, they're not helping them make more money, they're just under. And instead of it being win-win situation, it's lose thing, and it's not really helpful. Run. I was reading the reviews a girl made for the Comic Cons she went, and she complained that shelf area was always in a hidden area. That self area was always hidden. You mean indies were in a hidden area? Or self-published? You meant? Because from what I've read, like that's what they usually they put the indies in a isolated area instead of putting them in the front. So it just seems to me like it's one big scam. What they're aiming for, to scam people, not help them. Stupid, of course. I understand that a sucker is born every second or something like that, but um, people are just gonna stop going. To rent places there. In a forgotten area, and the Comic Con is divided in different locations. I can understand it being divided in different locations, like for sure. If I'm totally uninterested in indie comics, why should I have to see them, let's say? But you know, you pass it, you don't have to suffer too much. That would be a green that is really more Like, I don't know how much the other stand and what their arrangements are. Just neglect, indifference, or is it like arranged to be that way so that indies never get anything good? And this girl was angry because they asked me a lot of money for the stand and they hide it away from the Comic Con. Yes, because you don't make your money back. And I don't understand do this. Like, it's very frequent that they do this. Like, they give you really crappy stand location. And based on what would they, you know, like give you a better stand location? Like, you have to have a minimum of 5,000 Facebook followers for that? What's the logic? A lot of companies like this for promotion and publishers and stuff like that. Oh, you know, we're only going to consider you if you have 1,000 YouTube followers. And having 1,000 followers that isn't makeup tutorial or some other kind of tutorial uh, is really difficult. Or video gamer. Like, that is what you usually find on YouTube. So like, I don't know what's going on through their heads. How many comic book companies have thousands of followers on YouTube? Organizations want to show that, look, indie and aren't important. Probably. I don't know what they were thinking. Pino, take care. I don't know, is it like they are against indie comic books? I don't see how that would play. Like, wouldn't you want to have more indies so you can charge big companies more because big companies euros for a stand? Oh my god, nobody's gonna pay for that except big companies. Like, why wouldn't you want to have small indies have success and then strangle the big companies? Like, hey, I don't need to give you things, big company, because look, I'm doing fine from a bunch of more small companies. I don't know, maybe the big companies have this like included us um up front the others, because they know that, you know, people have a limited amount of money and they don't want people to spend the money on like, they want you to pay $100 for, I don't know, a spider and not spend $1 on a badge from an indie. Like, I'm not sure what I don't understand why they're doing this. Cause it's not just malicious intent, because I don't know, whatever. There has to be something behind it. And I don't see how it's more profitable to uh, keep backstabbing this because they're just not gonna come anymore. They're so brutal with indies, like a lot of companies are really about this, and arrogant. Like I see some bloggers that have less followers than me on Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that, but they're like, oh, you have to have a whole bunch of followers before you are talking to you. And I'm just shocked that there's so many with this mentality. Like, what's wrong with you people? It's because look, it's great, everybody comes here, blah blah blah, and not to mention how hotel costs during the event. Oh yeah, of course the hotels are gonna jack up the price. I would too. It's a pretty tough economy in Italy at the moment. The indies being able to even break even. Like I think the most even. Let alone make a profit. I don't think it's even worth doing it. Like, you still have to use the old avenues. You have to find a publisher and try and split it, the money. I'm trying to figure out myself. Like, people do want something new, but they don't really actually make much of anything new. Like, they expect to be served something new, and bigger companies are not gonna serve something new, because the old stuff works. Why risk it? Why ever risk it? Like, I understand the companies not wanting to do that. Like, teenage drama works just fine. Boy meets boy. Boy fights monsters, saves girl. Then the new trend was girl is angry, beats up boy. Boy still likes girl even though he got beaten by a strong woman. So that was a trend. I don't even know what's a trend now in love stories. Yeah, it's the behavior of the Comic Cons is really weird, and I don't know for every Comic Con, but like usually the bad ones stand out and we hear about them. Like, I would like to get a list of good Comic Cons. I don't even know where there is a list of good Comic Cons. Like, so far I've only ever heard horror stories about the bad ones. And well, there's gotta be a decent one out there somewhere. Like, I've heard, Cindy talk about some good ones in California, but for the two of us is not an option. Now, love stories, cliches, we each other, but fate is against us, and we will suffer from that. I get reading type of stuff. Probably. I don't know why none of them really go the realistic route and actually give some good advice, because the people that are making these comics are past adolescents, and I'm sure some of them have stuff that has happened to them. Like, I like Dom because his comics are more realistic. Like, oh, I like the girl and I goofed up and I did something wrong, or I should have dumped her earlier. And like, you can definitely put dragons and make it a magical school for sure, no problem, just to make the comic more interesting. His is realistic, like there's no dragons in his story. But I like his comics because, they're not stupid. Like, he actually advice. Like, if somebody doesn't answer your messages, it's doesn't want to talk to you, or is a player or something like that. And instead of this love stories, like, why would you want to put yourself through that? Like, they should make more comics about realistic situations. Because let's face it, Western countries, there really isn't this fate against us situation. Like, you can date whoever you want, let's be honest. Like, the only people that live in some third world country where they don't have internet, so they're not gonna read Tapastic anyway. Why would you imagine yourself in a situation like that? But I don't know, maybe it's the idea of the excuse. The relationship could have worked, but it's outside forces to blame, not us. Yes, they could do that for sure. Like, the memes are full of wisdom, don't. It's very good idea. But in the second one, I'm gonna do high school drama as well, because I called high school drama comics being crap. I might as well put my money where my mouth is and high school drama comics. Probably not gonna have success because people than me for sure. Like they like that soap opera kind of drama, which I do not have any patience for it. Comics is really encouraging, like people do want realistic, reasonable stories that actually give good advice. Like, don't be a douchebag. So many comics, you know, when it's encouraged this, you know, oh, the bad boy who is mysterious and oh, all the girls want him. For what happens in reality. Second of all, it's a bad idea to find like the mysterious squad type in reality or whatever. Brooding, smokes behind the building and stuff like that, because he's such a now smoking is not considered anymore, but it's vaping now, which I know the fetish ritual of putting something in your mouth continues. Like when they were too poor to uh, have what is it called? Or, you know, like a toothpick, and they would go around with a toothpick in their mouth, which I really never understood why. It's like depictions from older times or other comics or stuff like that, and it's just because they couldn't put cigars in kids' mouths or something. I don't know, they would put like toothpicks, have a toothpick in their mouth. It mostly seems to be like an American like I've seen it in some Japanese comics as well. Where the male character, in order would have a piece of wood in his mouth or wheat or something. It of itself seems pretty strange. Consider the homophobia at the time. Let's see the eye. Oh, I'm gonna make it a big one. And the blue eye. There we go. I don't know, maybe it's a kinda got developed so you quickly understand what the character is about. Like the certain stereotypes, like you have the blonde girl that is the pretty girl, and the brunette is the or something, and the guy with the toothpick or something in his mouth is like the badass. And like these tropes, I see them in a lot of comics, and I'm kind of waiting. When are they going to change? They change into. Or how would you convey that a character is lone wolf or whatever? Let's see, how many other panels do I have? I have. Okay, and this is your character sheet for the little nose. Brown. Do Niels as an adolescent. It's okay. I still got 4 more chapters for this book, and if chapter takes me 6 months, 2 years ahead. So it'll be like 2 years from now, and maybe Niels will be an adolescent. Long way away. 2 years. I don't even know what I'm gonna do 2 years from now. Like, hopefully I'll be able to do more. But it's like super hard to advance a story in such a complex coloring, the line art, and the story is continuing. It's a lot more easier to do like little strips like I have for Ernest. Slice of life is a lot easier. To put out more content. There's just a lot less work going into it. Time. But, you know, I hope more people will see my comic and like it. And we'll keep moving forward. Poor Erwin. I don't like waking up in the morning either. How's it going? Kay wants dedicated only to him. Okay, if you're fat enough, but if you say so, we will believe you. I'm not gonna contradict you. I know you're very touchy about the subject, so whatever you say goes. Yeah, June, smaller in size, so I don't think anybody will notice. Kay doesn't post any pictures because he wants to be a mystery. Or maybe he just wants to have an excuse. I'm fat, when actually he isn't. You know, like pictures or it didn't happen. Well, you shouldn't actually believe a girl when she says she's fat, so more of an opinion than an actual reality. But for me, I used to be overweight, so I guess I count as fat. Curvy without curves. Well, I think what's it called? A circle still has curves. Everyone's like, no, don't wake me up. I don't want to wake up. Leave me alone. What did I ever do to you? Oh, what's happening? What the hell? My undo, undo, undo. Did it? It's still there. What the hell? There, but it's invisible for some. Oh, okay, there we go. I pressed on by accident, or I don't have. Damn. Okay. Work is gone because I moved it. Must have pressed a shortcut key or something. Like Clip Studio Paint has so many shortcuts and they're different than in Photoshop, sorry. And sometimes when I paint, I like screw up some things. So I am looking forward to the, and I'm gonna see if I can get an HBO uh, subscription. Shortcuts are the same for and Photoshop. I don't think so. Like Clip Studio Paint has a lot more shortcuts than Photoshop. Like a lot more. I looked through the menu. I remove all of them and just keep the ones I want. Because going around and deleting each one bit by bit seemed like too complicated. Background color. That's gonna be bush color. Yeah, so like I was saying, I'm hoping to get like a YouTube subscription. I would like to see a lot of movies in HD there. I gotta check it. Some ads for discounts and stuff. So I'm gonna see what it's about. It's such a kerfuffle and it's super annoying. Like in the past, if I wanted to see a certain documentary, I would watch it on BBC channel or something, and I had all of my channels in one place, all over the place. And I want to see one. Let's say I want to see American Gods, and it's on Stars. I want to see Planet Earth, and it's. I want to see what else Netflix has, like something like that, and some other TV series, and they're on Netflix, and they're $7 a month. And it's super annoying and confusing. I wanna watch everything. I don't know. I wish there was like a centralized hub for all of these. Like a lot of the TV shows, you can see them on Amazon or buy them. I like what Google is doing with Google videos, and you can have like a library on Steam, but it's a pretty small library, like most of it is crap in there. And all of the good stuff, like I've seen it recently on the cinema and see it there. And it's pretty expensive, it's like what, $15 or more. Google movies. Yeah. And I want... This is music, I don't know why it's putting it here. Logan, $5? It's not bad to rent. Definitely better than the cinema price. About animation earlier, but you didn't want to contribute even though you're an animator, so it's not my fault. Special invitation like, hey, could you please honor us with your contribution? I have so much to contribute. Please, do contribute. Maybe I should give it a more muted background. Those panel skies stand out more. Welcome back, Spino. Okay, weird. It's only it's taking the layer underneath and coloring in a weird way. Or maybe I should make it darker like this. I think it's too much. But it definitely makes those panels stand out. And saw Wonder Woman in the cinema. Did you guys see it? As far as superhero movies go, it was pretty good. Action sequences and stuff like that. No, not yet. My mother wants to. Yeah, well, I think she was. I think Wonder Woman was around before she was even born, or something. Like Wonder Woman appeared in what century? Let's. Uh, I have a year here, a millennium, something. Application creation, let's see. 1940. I'm pretty sure your grandmother wasn't born then. Or maybe she was. My grandmother was born in 1930. So Wonder Woman, I think, is maybe even... No, so she's like a few years old, younger than Superman. Superman X. The publication history. What? Wonder Woman is older than Superman? Who's the oldest? Yep. First was born Batman, then Superman. Yeah. And like now is very PG-13. It's okay. Original Wonder Woman comics were not for kids, in my opinion. Like, the creator was a perv, and first issues were really pervy. So definitely not for kids. But I think most of the weirdness went over kids' heads, like they didn't understand. First film anyway. Movie Colossal. So Colossal film. I think it's 2016 or something. Yep, this one. And it's 2017, yeah. On Rotten Tomatoes, and it's pretty nice. I liked it. Monsters and robots fighting. You might like it. And they said they're gonna do a Pacific Rim. Like, I'm curious when it's going to be released. Ooh, February 2018. It's pretty close. Do I have a trailer? Close. Do I? Do I? No, I do not. I am not for a trailer, but I would like to see a trailer. This is Grumpy Black Kid. Asians. Food. Where are the robots? I do not care about traditions and stuff. Damn. CGI complex process. Italian Wikipedia says Wonder says I would expect Superman to be older than Wonder Woman, simply because he's a man and Wonder Woman is a woman. These things have generally been for men, superheroes, and princesses for heroes, and like you had Disney for girls and Superman comics for boys. Rip, we will soon. I'm getting Rip. like I didn't sit to read the whole article. Maybe they did a draft in 40 and then published in 42. I don't know. And then published. But like the creator was a very unconventional guy. I guess that's why he had the guts to do a comic. And he had a he lived with, or so I would believe. A YouTuber that made an article about the star of Wonder Woman and its star of. She was very vulnerable to bondage and stuff like that. If you binded her and stuff like that, though she had superpowers. They gave her that stupid invisible jet until the end. They decided, okay, you can fly on your own. Why not? But yeah, all the comics were pretty weird. Like, there's a channel I follow, it's called The Rawest, and it's called The Stories about comic books. Oops. Using YouTube. Let me go search for YouTube. And it was Rawest. Yes, Rawest and Rawest. Superman relationship, because it's really weird. This one was it? Yeah, when Batman burns, Superman tries to burns. Error, try again? What's happening? What's happening? Error? Yeah, I don't know what's. Maybe you can listen on Picarto or Tuto and write in the YouTube if it's not complicated for you, because you're on a phone or on a desktop. Because you're on. But I'm like gonna end the stream in a couple of minutes, so. Door here, I don't know, think, I have to add the bubbles, I have that. Yep, on Twitch and Picarto. And it doesn't work. You have. Well, like nobody uses hello. A bit up. Case you write something more so I can see it. Oh, color this. Rooster for now. Kind of trying to add a little bit of color and do I have transparency? Not really. For Blender, I can edit for Blender. Well, sometimes, you know, there are just issues with compatibility, and like every platform website, something doesn't work. So hope still give you guys, and I can hear my what questions I answer and stuff like that. If you have any like that. I'm gonna end the stream because it's 5 o'clock and I have to go. So thank you very much. I'm gonna continue this on I don't think I'm gonna move to another Lineart. Depends on June. Thanks for watching. And bye bye.